Starlight, written by John Roger. Fade in, exterior, outside Myrtle's house, day. Camera slowly pans the front of Myrtle's yard. The house itself is simple in design and is made up of clay. 3 clay domes, one in the middle being bigger than the 2 on each side, form the walls. The bigger dome has a circular overhang that hangs over all 3 domes. Myrtle and Zrui are sitting on a log several feet in front of the house. The area around them is mostly sand and dirt with patches of grass here and there. Myrtle looks up in the sky and sees large black clouds moving above them. He pours a cup of tea and takes a sip.
After Ginzo showed us his vile mechanism, we went back to the village. Not too long after, Ginzo came to town and asked a few of the villagers if they wished for peace. Of course, they all spouted yes, not knowing of how it would be obtained. Most of them agreed with me and stayed here, but some ventured with Ginzo up north, back to the grotto.
Lightning strikes the ground nearby and thunder erupts. The clouds quickly gain ground and are now hovering above them. Raindrops fall to the ground and dissolve in the sand and dirt. Myrtle grabs the tea and both grab each side of the log and carry it under the overhang of the clay house. They place the log down in front of the door and sit down. The rain comes down harder and Myrtle rubs his chin.
It was raining just like this when he took them, if I remember correctly.
Exterior, the village to the south of the continent, day, flashback. Camera pans up with a large black metal gate in view. Brittle cement spans each side of the gate for a few thousand feet. Angle over village. There's not a ray of sunshine as the entire sky is filled with dark clouds. Rain pours down on the clay and metal shacks, making irregular noises. The rain makes it hard to see faint light sources in the window of some homes coming from candles. A gust of wind blows through the village and some candles blow out to be quickly ignited with another flame. Back to the gate. Ginzo is seen standing in the mud with 5 reins in each of his hands attached to horses. He's in his royal battle attire, 2, front and back, gold-plated layers of armor with patches of fur for style. Gold-plated shoulder pads and knee and elbow braces make up the rest of the metal on his body. With black leather pants and brown leather shoes, he waddles through the gate, dragging the 10 horses behind him. He looks around the village and counts the lit candles. Closer on Ginzo. After counting the candles, he smirks. Sprites clash behind him, and 2 seconds after, thunder erupts. Angle on clay house. A family consisting of a mother, father, and daughter stand under the slight overhang of their house. A candle is lit in their window, and Ginzo walks up to them. He holds out his left hand, and the father of the family grabs one of the reins and hops on a horse. The father guides the horse next to the window, and he blows out the candle as his family waves him off. Angle on Ginzo. As he pulls the remaining horses through the mud, the rain is falling harder, and Ginzo is moving slow. Lightning flashes, and he picks up speed just to slow down after the lightning fades away. After the lightning flashes, the horses neigh. After they neigh, the horses raise their hooves and fall in the ankle-high puddles. Some of the water splashes in Ginzo's shoes. Ginzo turns around and barks loudly as the horses get back up. The neighing turns to whines, and the whining turns to silence as Ginzo pulls the horses to the next house. Angle on another clay house. A male and female coyote stands under their overhang, and Ginzo walks up to them. Ginzo has 2 reins in his right hand. His left hand is being used to shield his eyes. He holds out his right hand.
Who is coming with me?
Both of the coyotes try to take a rein, but Ginzo slaps their fingers away with his left hand. The horses shift back and forth as Ginzo wags his finger.
No, only one.
Back to the gate. Myrtle is seen chasing one of the 8 villagers that are on horses. He struggles to keep up with the horses as his bare feet get stuck in the mud often. As Myrtle gets closer to a horse, he tries to pull one of the villagers down, and the horse bucks and neighs.
Stop this. You don't have to go with him to acquire peace.
Myrtle's mouth is quickly filled with water, and he falls to his knees. He tries to cover his mouth with his hands, and the mud on his hands falls into his mouth. The villagers each adjust themselves on their saddle and grip their reins. Angle on Ginzo. As he stares at Myrtle, waddling in the mud, he turns to the couple.
Either one of you gets on, or get back!
The male coyote hugs his companion and hops on the back of one of the horses. Ginzo gestures to the front gate and barks loudly. Camera pans up, facing the front of the village toward the houses. The echo of Ginzo's bark is resonating in the air as Ginzo and the last villager gallop through the gates. A strong gust of wind follows them. The candles in the windows start to go out one by one. Closer on last candle. As the gust of wind passes the last candle, it flickers and subsides. Full on front of gate. Myrtle is still trying to corral the villagers.
You won't make it back!
All but one villager keeps their distance from Myrtle. He looks Myrtle in the eyes. He allows the horse to nudge closer to Myrtle, and Myrtle smiles. Myrtle walks a little closer to the horse with open arms.
It's not too late.
Before Myrtle gets any closer to the villager, Ginzo rides his horse between them and knocks Myrtle away. Myrtle falls in the mud face first. As Ginzo and the other villagers ride off, the one villager hesitates. Myrtle's POV. A muddy puddle is all Myrtle sees as the mud around his eyes prevents him from opening his eyes wide enough. He gets to his feet and wobbles to the noise of the whining horse. Reaching out to the noise, his muddy fingers make contact with another hand. The hand envelops his and shakes it.
Don't let the village go to crap while we're gone. And don't worry, we will come back.
Close on Myrtle. Myrtle feels the hand retreating and tries to grab a hold, but the mud makes it difficult.
No!
Myrtle flings his hands in multiple directions. His hands touch the horse and press down hard. The horse is frightened and yanks away from Myrtle and kicks him in the chest. Angle on front gate of village. Myrtle smacks hard into the front gate and falls in the mud. He tries to wipe the mud from his eyes with his left hand, only to see all the horses running away from him. With his right hand, he clinches his chest and sinks in the mud. Fade in, exterior, outside Myrtle's house, day, back to present. Close on Myrtle. Myrtle looks up and watches the rain die down as he puts his right hand over his chest.
No. It rained harder then.
Fade out.